All right, here we go. A little bit, we got a little bit of power back. It's almost like we got another Saiyan duo, if you would, Goku getting a little bit of energy from Vegeta. In this case, it's Christian. Christian, welcome back. Week 10. You missed it, man. These last 2 weeks, I was killing
Yeah,
it. But we'll get into that later. How you been, man?
but good. Just busy, but ready to get back right in the saddle of things and just kind of get to the flow and ready for another week of football and Thursday night's upon us.
Yeah, I was about to say a great Thursday night game. We're doing this before the game, so that way we can save all the entertainment for you to just, indulge in. So we got the big one. It is Bengals at the Ravens. Ravens 5.5 at the time that I wrote the line down earlier today. I wonder if that line's moved or not, but it went
Still at five
down.
and a half.
Still at 5.5. Awesome. Because I know the line was a little bit higher on some people's recording, so it's been going a little bit down. So I'm going to go ahead and take the stand here real quick and everything. I know we usually give you a choice, but I feel like you would enjoy this part because I think this game is going to just go just like how just like how you picked the Broncos last week, expecting a fourth quarter collapse. I don't think that's going to happen. I think this new addition. I think the Ravens are going to make a good move here and going to prove their offseason move. It's going to be interesting, and it's simple to say, if they win this game, right, it kind of puts the Bengals out of the playoff hunt. Give me the Ravens. I think like this is a just a general spot to put the Ravens in, especially since they might have beaten their either the Broncos were really bad or the Ravens were just finally a good. They finally found a way to get past their fourth quarter woes. So one or the other.
That's the hope. That's the hope. Because I'm sitting here. I don't have trust in my defense. Like I just until I get full concrete, like we can win, and the defense actually stands up for once. I'm not gonna have that confidence. The pass rush is non-existent right now. I was really hoping for a pass rusher to come in on trade deadline and didn't come in. We did get Tre'Davious White. Who knows? Maybe that guy's career gets revamped. He hasn't had the best season, but the optimism side of things I have to have is, but Baltimore is the home of literally revamping these people's careers. I mean, Jadeveon Clowney, Justin Houston, Kyle Van Noy right now.
That's
Fucking
insane.
who else? We've had a bunch of people in the past. Marcus Peters, like we've had a bunch of people in the past before that didn't have really the best seasons. They come to Baltimore, they somehow have drank the fountain of youth. So hopefully, Clowney is another example. Hopefully that comes to fruition when he starts going because he's inactive tonight. Um, but the line has moved from 6.5 to 5.5, which means everyone and their mother is going onto the Bengals spread. Which rightfully you should. Like if you're thinking from a logical, non-biased decision, you should take that heavy of a spread in a divisional game. Like you should. It should be a closer one. But I'm gonna have to go with the boys here. Just because everyone and their mother is on the Bengals spread. I think we could be in a situation where Baltimore plays up to competition. As you know, we play down, we play up to the actual team. So hopefully it's one a repeat of last year's Thursday night football where Baltimore blew them out the water. And Joey B once again cannot beat the Baltimore Ravens. So
That's a huge stat
yeah,
there. I think he's like what,
that's
1-5, 1 and
yep.
4.
He's only beaten us once, I think. And I think that was with Tyler Huntley. So um
That was a game though.
yeah,
It was still a
yeah,
close game. Came off of
yeah,
what? Edrickson, the run back all the way
yep,
down the field.
yep. So ideally, hopefully Deontay Johnson gets put in the mix. I haven't been on the pod since he got traded here too. Hey, for considering what we not really gave up, I'll take a free another wide receiver to join the team and he's a chain mover. So hopefully he comes into the spot here. Like it's only another positive, but it's just the defense. The defense is always going to be one that has me worried. Here is the pass rush is non-existent. That's going to lead to wide receivers somehow getting free from the cornerbacks. Like it all just leads to the pass rush, and that is going to be the number one key that I'm going to be looking out to tonight. Hopefully, Deontay gets an end zone. I will be taking him to get in. But we'll see. We'll see how this goes. This should be interesting.
It's gonna be a fun Thursday night football game,
Yeah,
regardless. And the one thing that we didn't even mention is the run game of the Ravens and how it's pretty much the easier thing to replicate when it comes to these Thursday night games. You want to talk about I mean, he's probably not due, but talk about guaranteed to probably score. Put down Derrick Henry. I was about to say,
Yeah,
this seems like a game where
he
make the play calling easy.
he has scored every single week as a Baltimore Raven. That is
Insane.
absurd. And he
It's insane.
already passed 1K yards. Like
Already?
I hope he yeah, I hope he breaks the record.
He should at
That would
least,
be
that'd be cool if he
absurd.
had 2K, yeah.
Yeah, that would be absurd if he breaks the single yard record here, which is still held by LT if I'm not mistaken. So that should be interesting. But then also our debut of our new Purple Rising helmets are going to be on display here. So nice to have the good swag come out. I will be looking to buy one to add to my collection here.
Mhm.
But it should be an interesting game. Hopefully, it's just a blowout. And
That's the one
Baltimore
with
just
the
takes it easy.
different, it's a different bird logo on it, right?
Yeah, it's from like the frontal view essentially.
Yeah.
So purple, it has a gold face mask. So I like it. I like it. So it
That'd be
matches
pretty
the color
cool.
rush.
Okay, bet. Those were the good old days when they used to always bring out color rushes, man. Those were the good days. But that would be tough to see for sure. And I don't think the Bengals, was this the game where they were actually complaining about how both teams wanted to wear their white uniforms? Was this the game? Because
No,
the
no, no,
Bengals
no.
probably
Because
wanted to bring out their white
we
tigers or something like
I
that.
think they wanted to bring out the white tigers. I don't know why they didn't. I don't know if there was some sort of implication that they couldn't, but it wouldn't make sense considering we're wearing purple. So it might have been some NFL decision to not let them wear that.
Yeah.
But I mean, also another talk point I have to bring up: Keaton Mitchell's back. I'm not sure how
Oh,
involved he's going to
what is
be
he?
into the run game, but you have Thunder of freaking Derrick Henry. You have now Lightning coming back with Keaton Mitchell, who's averaging around 8 yards per carry
Mhm.
last year, uh, which is absurd. Like he is lightning quick. And then you got, I think, who is the unsung hero of the Baltimore Ravens right now. I think I'm gonna give him the nickname of Hale, Justice Hill.
Yeah.
Justice Hill, that man is so reliable, and him on the wheel route is just unstoppable right now. Lamar keeps finding him in a dime with the wheel route. So Justice Hill, I have to give a shout out because no one's giving that man any love. But he is putting the team. So nice three-headed monster in the backfield right now that's moving pretty well. So we'll see. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully it's just a Baltimore blowout, and I can just rest easy today.
Hopefully, maybe you can even might even throw on a hockey game or something. I don't know.
That's not maybe who knows, or maybe I just go to bed real quick. So we'll see.
Season that might be one of those days I just go to bed. Don't blame you. All right. On to the next game. It's a really gross one because we got to go ahead and talk about the game that starts in the morning. Germany, you got Giants and the Panthers. No, this is not a declaration of war. We do have a Panthers having a 6.5 point spread line, or six half. They are the underdogs, I should say. That's disgusting. But give me the Panthers, dude. Not only are they probably, I'm pretty sure Jonathan Brooks is coming back this game, but they
Yes.
just paid Chuba Hubbard. So shout out
Which
to
okay, hold on. Can
everyone
we
else
can we
that
stop there? We can stop there. Hold up. That is absurd. Why are you paying Chuba Hubbard 4 years and you just paid Miles Sanders 4 years and you have Jonathan Brooks in the backfield? What is this? What is the decision
I
making?
love the approach because maybe we're getting into an era of bringing back the triple option into the NFL. Bringing the triple where we don't worry about the quarterback. We got three stellar running backs, and we're just going to attack them every game. So that's my theory and everything. But they did just pay Chuba Hubbard. I was expecting him to actually be traded because that he was one of the trade rumor mill guys on there. I would have loved to see him in a. I would have loved to see him on a more competitive team, but it's cool and everything. Hopefully, Jonathan Brooks does his thing and all that fun stuff. But for the Panthers here to be 6.5 point underdogs, I kind of want to take that just because is this another spot where Dayball gets fired if the Panthers win? Are the Panthers coach killers? There's going to be the coach killer of the NFL.
I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about that.
I mean, the Giants been struggling after that goofy fourth and what is it, 2 point conversion that they tried. That's the last thing I can remember about the Giants, to be quite honest with you. So, yeah, I was about to say, is this one of those games? But I'm taking the Panthers here to end my little rant.
I'm taking the Panthers. Their points. This game does not deserve for me to talk more than 10 seconds about. We'll just take the underdog here.
And I wouldn't blame you for thinking that because I'll probably be sleeping through this game. I'll probably be sleeping. I'll most likely be sleeping through this game. And if the game's close and competitive with 5 minutes left, maybe I'll turn it on. If not, I'm just watching a game day show, a game day morning show. So, all right, to the 1 o'clock slots. I'm going to go ahead and talk about a game that's already having an interesting line. The Bills at Indianapolis. The Colts are 3.5 point underdogs. Cristian, I think that's too close. I think this is the easy pick here is to go with the Bills here.
Yeah.
Love your boy
Yep.
Joe Flacco, but I don't think he can do this one.
I love Joe, but this line is way too small. Like, why? Like, the Colts are so disorganized right now with everything. Like, it's absurd. Michael Pittman, if you want to talk about a cardio merchant right now, that guy is just out there just jogging.
Poor
So,
dude.
I I don't know how to justify that line. The Colts are just not going well. So give me the Bills -3.5.
Yeah, I don't know what they're thinking. Unless Jonathan Taylor's dropping 200.
Unless Jonathan Taylor is just going absolute standing on its head.
Yeah, that's all I could. Not the new touchdown meme. Yes, those wonder Where did it come from? Like a D2, D3 school, like something like it was like a
Who?
small town school.
Jonathan Taylor?
No, the touchdown dance he just referenced was standing on their
Oh yeah,
heads.
yeah, yeah. That
That
came
was
from like
what
a
Amon
very
Ra and
small
Drake
school.
London did.
Yeah, it's standing on the head.
Yeah, I was about to say I don't know if you meant to slip that in, but literally that's what that's the new move, I guess. Love to see that in college football and everything. That should be on the update. But yeah, I was about to say this game really, I don't know much really to talk about. The Bills are
I
just
don't
playing
have
good.
much else. The line doesn't make sense. There really isn't much to expand on considering
Yeah.
how the teams have been playing.
Yeah, it's almost a little too good to be true there, folks. A little too good to
Yeah,
be true. Man,
yeah,
hopefully you caught it
we
at a
could
good
be
time.
a freezing cold takes, and you know what? I wouldn't be mad if you were, because this is very trappy for the Bills if the line is like that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but they're what, 7-1? They only lost one. They only lost to you guys?
Oh, they lost. They lost. They've only beaten teams below 500. They've lost to all teams above.
Well, this team's below 500.
Yeah.
So I feel like it'll be interesting if this is even close. And that's what I'm trying to say. All right, to a game that probably won't be as much of a fight. The Broncos, you just seen them, Christian, go into town against the Ravens. This time they're going to the Chiefs, 7.5 point underdogs. Um, I don't think there's a chance on this one, even though the Chiefs have not covered a line all season. I am taking the Chiefs anyways. It's gonna be an interesting risk if I put them on my locks here, but that's a big line for them to even think about covering. But the main reason why here is this was, I think, the same line we had last week for the Broncos and the Ravens. I think it was like maybe 2 points more. So I just think that it just makes more sense here to just go with the Chiefs, and we might have seen the luck finally. We might see a little bit of a reality check for the Broncos.
Yeah, I'm on the same wavelength for here. Like the Chiefs haven't covered, but it's at Kansas City. I don't know if I want to talk
Yeah, it's
myself into
starting to get going
it's.
too.
D Hop's starting to get going,
You want to talk about
but
cardio merchants? Let's talk about my guy Xavier Worthy. I mean, I know
oh
you've been
god,
having fun at me losing fantasy football this week, but
that'd be
golly,
an all
I mean,
timer. That's an all
talk
timer.
cardio merchant. I was on the winning side. And listen to this, folks. I was on the winning side of Michael Pittman, by the way, this week. I played against him. That was when Chandler started, and then I proceeded to not only start. That's right. I'm already
I don't know
regretting the
why
fact I
you started
started
him.
him. I should have just benched and not even risk anything. But no, I started him. I was greedy. I was expecting him to get, I don't know, 1 yard or one catch that was positive. My fault. This one didn't show up. And I ended up losing to, yeah, Chandler was currently the worst team in the league. I think he still is. So, yeah, it was
Yeah.
embarrassing it was an embarrassing loss for
Like
sure.
you could have justified it if you were close to making a chug, but the whole day I was like, dude, why is he not benching him? I don't want to deal with a -1, the worst case scenario.
Worst
And
thing
then
to ever happen, man.
they proceed to throw a pass, but it was behind, so they counted it as a rush. Oh my god.
Every time he was running around, Mahomes was just using him for distraction. I was like,
Yeah.
literally, he would purposely look at Xavier Worthy and then like literally do almost a 180 to the next receiver, and I'm
Yep.
just sitting there like, yeah.
Yep. Look, back to the game itself, I could see this be another skid game for the Broncos, where now we're looking at like, okay, where were we a little ahead of ourselves with the Broncos? So give me the Chiefs minus 7.5, but I don't like it. The hook is what bothers me.
Just see it, I just don't see the Broncos. I mean, this is a rivalry, of course, but I just don't see it, man. I don't think this is the time. I think this is like you said, they're going to skid. All right, to the next one that I think is interesting. I'm actually mixing it up a little bit from the usual FanDuel order, but I feel like now we can actually go back to the top. It's going to be Patriots at Bears. Bears are 6.5 point underdogs when I wrote this down, which is crazy.
That is absurd. What is this line?
The line that I'm still going to probably take the Bears on.
No.
Yeah,
No.
I'm going to take the Bears on this one. Okay, hear me out.
Convince me,
They
Jalen. Convince me right now.
have not played a home game in 3 weeks. Ever since they went to London, they have not played a home game. They need this game. If
Okay.
this is Christian, I feel like you probably heard this from other popular Bears fans. This is a must-win game for Eberflus, I feel like. I mean, you've heard the rumors, you see the talks. DJ Moore literally said, I wish I could say no, that he hasn't lost the locker room.
That was a wild
Insane.
comment.
He must have been really upset about Eberflus these last 2 seasons. I mean, this past season and then this season. So I mean, in his defense, he comes from the Panthers, where bad coaching, he knows where it's coming from. So he's just trying to help out the new guy, maybe. Um, but yeah, I feel like, especially if you consider the fact that they've just been playing better teams that are not the Patriots, this is a must-win game. I'll take the points here, and I think this is a must-show out. Caleb Williams goes off, pop off. I mean, you're playing against Drake May, right? Drake May's playing, or is it Brissett?
Drake May should be playing. It should
Yeah.
be.
Yes. No offense to him, but this is probably a get-right game for the Bears, so I'll take them.
Well, Jalen, you convinced me. I didn't realize it was 3 games since last home game, and I can just see the Bears actually put a game together and just reel these Bear fans back right in. I'm like, okay, maybe it's something, but DJ Moore, that was wild to say. Like, I don't think he lost the locker room. What?
I wish I could
Excuse me?
say no.
Like, like someone told Anthony Richardson a couple weeks ago, just lie. Like, you just can't
Walked off the field
listen.
too. You see
Oh,
that? He ended up walking off the field too.
off the it was the Rich Eisen show, right? Like it was like you can't- just say yeah, he has the locker room in control. Not I think he does.
Insane.
Oh my god. But then it doesn't help DJ Moore that he's been getting snip baited all of these past few weeks and just giving up on plays. Like we all know DJ was a very big Justin Fields guy. So this could be just a domino effect of him not being the Caleb guy and still being mad about the whole Justin Field situation, but it would have made sense considering DJ signed a contract extension this offseason. So who knows what's going on there? But Jalen convinced me. Bears minus 6.5. I will take here. I can see the Bears rally back, and Patriots are just they had their sign of life. They had a sign of life last week of Drake May throwing the touchdown. The clock expired to go to OT and only to throw a freaking pick at the end. So you know what? Had a little bright spot, but
That's
it
not going to be
wasn't
his reputation, man. It's that he always plays these close games and he's just going to throw a massive pick at the end. Because I feel like that's happened to him twice now, where he's making this insane comeback, this insane rally, and then it's just picked off right there. And it's just like, yeah, he's a rookie, but that's just something that you hope that one day his kid can get over. So Drake May, though, like you said, he does have some bright spots. So it's going to be an interesting year two for him. I'm probably going to put him pretty high on my boards, at least for our year two talk. Man, I really miss Colby. I was about to say he used to always talk about second-year quarterbacks and all that
I
nonsense.
I can't wait to bring Colby the freaking facts about Trevor Lawrence and Daniel Jones stats side by side and
I
make him
have
play
it right
against the
here,
quarterback.
man. Colby Johnson over Jaguars pick of his year. That was his favorite pick of the year too. He was so excited. He was so, oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
In the Vikings, he had the Vikings under, so I really can't wait for him to come back. So, anyways, also the Nuggets are struggling a little bit, but who knows? It's the Nugs. They got Jokic. But all right. Next one here. I'm just gonna go ahead and hit the next big line. It's gonna be Vikings at the Jags. The Jaguars are 7-point home underdogs. And let me just say this, Christian. Sam Darnold, you just got made fun of by Doug Peterson
Oh
today.
yeah. Oh
You
yeah.
better show
I
up.
saw that.
You gotta show up, man, and cover this line. Doug Peter, you can't let that be happening. I mean, I think Sam Darnold is doing okay. He finally got off the skid that I called. I did say if we lose a game, we're gonna lose another one, and we did. I was not hoping we'd go to 3. Lucky us, because now we're starting our AFC South tour. But Sam Darnold, man, he's getting some risky interceptions now. It's getting a little interesting. That's why the 7-point line is really, really fascinating. But I'm also taking the Vikings just to show up in dominant fashion here. But
Yeah.
dude, and I really want Sam Darnold to show up, man. That was insane. What did he say? He said what? Why did Sam Darnold get better? And he just said right away because
Justin
Justin
Jefferson.
Jefferson. Which I mean, it's a
I
fair
mean,
point.
it's fair point, but still, like, kind of a little disrespectful. Like, can't just gonna be going on about that. Um, yeah, give me the Vikings easily here. What are we talking about? The Jags freaking suck. SUCK suck. They are so bad. It is absurd. I'm surprised the line's only at 7. Give me the Vikings like old spread, like freaking 9.5 at that rate.
Gosh.
Uh, but Sam Darnold, you better come out here and throw 4 goddamn touchdowns right in Dougie P's freaking face. So I would like that because I did pick up Sam Darnold for my fantasy team. So I would like that. But
Oh yeah.
this is easily Vikings -7 here. The Jags are just they're so bad, so bad.
Hopefully this isn't another one of those trap games. But I'm right there with you. I feel like this should be an easy one for the Vikings. All right, to the next one. That's probably the least we had to ever talk about one of my teams. On to the next one here. We got, ooh, I'm going to take another big line out because this one, in my opinion, shouldn't be this large. 49ers at the Bucks. The Bucks are 6.5-point home underdogs after the fact that they just lost in another heartbreaking fashion. Folks, when are we going to learn that Baker Mayfield fights in every single one of these goddamn games? I mean, he is just, he is, imagine if he, I mean, there is no imagining. Jared Goff is just as good over the court, is way better, but dang, man. Baker's playing his ass off. That's all I can say. I mean, it's incredible what we see from Baker. I mean, great performance against the Chiefs last week. Um, and he's losing receivers. He's keeping the games interesting. So, especially when he played against the Falcons, too. So, another overtime loss. I think Baker's going to come out swinging and cover this 6.5-point line with a questionable 49ers team.
Yeah, I mean, people keep counting out Baker here. I mean, the one complaint I have, it's not on Baker. It's that loser head coach. How do you not go 4-2 against the Chiefs on the road in rainy conditions? How do you not go 4-2? You have to. I think people would have been satisfied of you even giving the effort to, get the 2 if you didn't make it. Be like, you know what? They came out, they gave their best shot, they gave a fight. But then you just freaking go to overtime, you just let the freaking Chiefs go down the field. So that was quite annoying to see Todd Bowles make that decision. I felt like everyone was screaming at the TV, go for 2. But Baker has the dog in him. How is this line at 6.5? It's and the 49ers have not been playing good football. They have not. So give me the Bucks. The Niners are coming off the bye, if I'm mistaken. So that is the one worry that they're coming healthy. But I'll take the Bucks here and Baker with his grit.
I was about to say, it's just insane how hard Baker's been playing. Losing receivers sucks too, but he's just been making receivers and the running back core. I think that's the main thing. The running backs have been popping off for Baker as well. So yeah, just all around, man. Baker's just been playing good team effort, and they must really think the 49ers are just going to walk them, but I think they got this. I think the Bucks will keep this much interesting. So big line, questionable, in my eyes. All right, next one up. These are going to be the last two of the 1 o'clock games. Picking them in my head here, which one I want to talk about last, and it's pretty obvious now that I say it out loud because it's going to be Falcons and Saints that we're going to talk about next. This is going to be a quick one. Saints are 3.5-point underdogs, which I think is too low. I am going with the Falcons. This is not much of a travel game for Kirk Cousins. It's at 1 o'clock. It seems like he's getting back in classic form, and they're considered one of the top 5 teams in the NFC. Or actually, I'd argue, yeah, they're definitely a playoff team in the NFC. So, yeah, go ahead, give me the Falcons against a Saints team that just lost Dennis Allen, unless he's that bad. But I mean, I think this is still going to be a loss here for the Saints, despite the coach change. And who knows, Derek Carr might have found a way to connect with Slant Boy. So you never know. Shout out to what is his name again? I don't know.
Can't guard Boy Mike or something like that, like on his Twitter handle.
Was it?
It was like can't guard White Boy or like Boy Mike or something like that.
Can't guard Mike.
Or can't guard Mike, something like that.
Michael Thomas, that's who it is. There we go.
Oh, you didn't know? Oh, I think you were talking about his Twitter handle.
No, I don't care about the Twitter. And it's the can't guard. It's the Michael Thomas part. But yeah, give me the Falcons here. Saints, just spiraling.
Jalen, I'm actually going to be on the opposite side here. I'm going to take the Saints plus the 3.5. I think maybe the Dennis Allen juju, it's finally away. I mean, I've said at the beginning of the season, this guy sucks. Fat out sucks. Like, that's another one. I think I took the under on the Saints as my first overall pick. I'm not mistaken on the season total.
You were correct.
And they've lost 7 straight and starting out 2-0. And what did we say on this podcast? What did we say? Just wait. They'll get back to normal. Like, don't get into this hype and look at where we're at now. Look at where
they had us for the first 2 games there. That was it.
But I think the Saints actually either win this game or they lose on a field goal because of just the fire head coach energy here. So it's at New Orleans as well, so it's gonna be interesting. And the Falcons Saints rivalry, as I've seen in person, is a little very hostile environment. So give me the Saints.
It is going to be another battle zone in it's tragic, but it's going to be another battle zone at New Orleans this time. All right, in the last 1 o'clock game, we'll be able to fit here on the first Zoom call as well. It is going to be the Steelers at Commanders. The Commanders are 2.5-point favorites. Here we go, folks. 2 colliding forces. A young, fun rookie against Mike Tomlin being a road underdog. Oh boy, this is going to be interesting. This is going to be interesting.
This might be the most exciting 1 o'clock game.
I can probably stand right there with you. I'm glad I saved this one for last. I kind of see it going as the Steelers. I kind of like the Steelers here.
Really?
Yes. I just think that it's going to be another difficult defensive challenge for Jaden Daniels. This can also be a stadium game, folks. I hate to say it, but the fact that we already both agree that this is an interesting game, magical powers go to that stadium. Bad magical powers go to that stadium when big games are needed. So I would say everyone be on the lookout. Hopefully a star doesn't get hurt. I'm going to knock on wood now. But it's that's my theory there. But anyways, go with the Steelers in a potential stadium game as well.
I'm going to be on the opposite side. I'm going to take the Commies minus 2.5. The Steelers are another team that I'm just saying it right now. They will turn out to the Steelers as we anticipate them to be at some point. Russell Wilson will turn back into the pumpkin that we know he is. Just wait. It'll come at some point, and everyone's gonna be like, "Oh God, Russie sucks." And this could be the game where Commies come out. Commies have been Friday high, dude. The Commies, they also just got Marshawn Lattimore. The Commies, they could be a
they did add on. That's true.
Yeah, so they could be. They're a very well NFC threat, I will say. This should be interesting. This is gonna be a good game. I'm very excited for this. So give me the commies minus 2.5.
Give me the Hans, give me the cons. All right, here we go. And that is the 1 o'clock slot there, folks. And here we go. Up next, 4 o'clock slot. We're going to start with, I feel like it's going to be one of the grosser games of the week. There's only 3 4 o'clock games, so it's going to go by pretty quick. I got the Chargers hosting the Titans, as the Chargers are 7.5 point favorites. It's a big line, Christian, but I'm going to take Harbaugh in the simple choice here. I know you don't like the Titans, but I mean, the only thing that this game's going to be boring unless Mason Rudolph makes it interesting, but
This
90%
game's gonna
certain
be a
it's
true
going to be Chargers.
ground and pound. It's gonna be
Oh, yeah.
just run plays. It's we're not gonna see anything really special come out this one. Give me the Chargers minus 7.5 as well on that. The Titans are another one that like just they're just there.
It's just, I just feel like this game's going to be soul crushing, man, for the Titans. And if the Chargers do somehow lose this game, frauds. Easily they're not a
Oh
fraud.
yeah, easily. Oh my God, this
I
is
feel like that
trap
would
game.
easily.
This is definitely trap game material for the Chargers. I feel like this could this could catch them. And
All
you're
right,
like,
hang on. Let's go ahead. I have a bit. Here's an interesting one for you. Who's more likely to pull off the trap game here, Christian? For the AFC South, the Titans
mhm.
facing the Chargers. Let me see. The Colts beating the Bills,
Oh
or the
my,
Jaguars beating the Vikings. Which of
oh
those
my.
three? Or even how about this? We'll even throw in. We haven't even gotten to them yet, but how about even the Texans beating the Lions? Which AFC South
Oh.
team even has a chance this week to win?
Honestly, I think of all those options, I'm gonna have to give it to the Colts. Like I think
And that's why
I
maybe the line's close.
maybe because a lot of them they're all very, but I don't know. I think
Mhm.
even though I did bash the Colts earlier, that's a tricky one. That's a tricky one.
Thank you. Thank you. I just came up with that one on the spot. I'm pretty sure they're going to be using that on the morning shows tomorrow, everyone. Keep an eye out for it. All right. But yeah, Titans, good luck. Next one up. Ah, man, these next two ones are actually really entertaining and have a lot of impact and playoff implications. So give me America's, I think this one's probably going to be slotted as America's game of the week, sadly. Eagles going to Dallas, as Dallas are 7 point home underdogs.
It's
Christian, it's been a couple of
tough.
weeks. Is it over? I feel like that was the fastest experiment you've ever had with another team and just called it dead mid-season
Yep. Oh yeah.
automatically.
Oh, I call that dead like probably like week two season. That team sucked. That was, I couldn't imagine rooting for that team. That is just depressing. I was watching those games just for a fantasy sake, and I was like, dude, like this just sucks. Dak pisses me off so easily. Like that was ruthless to deal with. Uh, Eagles plus minus a 7. Yeah, hey, go ahead, take that to the freaking cashier at your local sports book and just freaking take it because you're gonna have what Cooper Rush at quarterback here.
Yes, sir. It's Cooper Rush time. No Trey
Not even Trey
Lance.
Lance. Not even Trey Lance.
I mean, this is the spot where Cooper always does good in for the first two games, right?
I
So
guess you're
then it
right.
gets
I guess
interesting.
we could get like a 2 games of Cooper Rush mania here. Yeah, you're right. Actually, you're right. You know what? I'll take it back. Don't go to the cash register. Wait it out. See how Cooper Rush mania goes, and then we'll see how it thing. Cause you're right, Jalen. We could. I could see Cooper Rush somehow slinging it, and
I
now
mean,
the
this is Nick
debate.
Sirianni here. We're also talking about.
Yeah,
He's been in
Jalen,
an interesting
you're
spot.
kind of switching me right now, Jalen. You're kind of switching me. Nick Sirianni,
Didn't mean
Cooper
to.
Rush mania.
Look,
No,
I am.
I'm sticking to Eagles minus
Yeah, I was
7.
about to say I'm
But
going to come in and step in and say that you're making the right choice because I'm also picking the Eagles here as well. It's a
we're
shaky
sticking it,
business. It
but
just
we're not laying it.
it's a shaky business, man. I think about it actually a little bit harder. I kind of want to take the Dallas Cowboys. I'm not going to lie. It just makes a little bit
We're
more
tying
sense now
ourselves
that I
in a
think
Cooper
about it.
Rush.
Nick Sirianni's questionable. Jalen
Oh
Hurts
my
has been
God, the
playing the
Eagles
same
fans are
old, same old.
The Eagles fans are gonna get so pissed if Nick Sirianni loses this game.
Cooper Rush. Or God forbid he goes down and they actually play Trey Lance and he wins the game.
Oh my God, Trey Lance comes in.
I just see this going. I just see that. I don't know, dude. I feel like this is a moment where the Cowboys might step up, but everything has gone terribly wrong. Do we really think Jonathan Mingo? There was a crazy stat that I saw, and it was, I think it was also on Rich Eisen's show, and it was, what's it called? Over 500. No, it was actually Pat McAfee and everything. Good old Coach Picano came on there and said it was like over 500 players and wide receivers to have over 50 receptions and no yards and 500 yards and no touchdowns. Only one player was able to complete that since 2000. It was Jonathan Mingo. It was Jonathan Mingo, not Deontay Johnson, who went multiple games who couldn't score a touchdown. Oh no, no, this is Jonathan Mingo, the guy that Dallas also picked up. So this is gonna be this is a really seesawing game just because of the line, I think itself. You're really betting on Cooper Rush mania, or you just expecting Eagles dominance. I'm gonna stick with my gut here. I gotta go with the Eagles, man. I'll be damned if I can already tell I'm gonna be wrong. I'm gonna come back here and say
Oh,
Cooper
we're
Rush
gonna come
mania.
back here next week and we're gonna gas up Cooper Rush. And we're gonna say Cooper Rush, QB1 of the Dallas Cowboys moving forward. Dak, say hello to the bench.
I mean, that could be the story of the season for the Cowboys if this is the spark they needed, you know? What if he does go on it? He
What
wins
if
every
he
game
is
till
the
Thanksgiving.
spark? What if he is the spark? We are approaching Thanksgiving.
Yeah. What if he wins
Oh,
every
oh
game
my
through
God,
St.
I can see it. I see the vision. I see.
It's right there. The script's in front of us. The script is right there in front of us. You never know, man. But all right, enough of the hypotheticals here. It's good. It's a good little case study for anyone that remembers our sport detective segment. We're going up with the Jets at the Cardinals. Cardinals are home underdogs, 1.5 point underdogs. As the Jets come into town. Cardinals are currently the NFC West #1 seed.
Yep.
Colby. Oh wait, you don't want the spoiler, but Colby has a lock on this game. I can tell you that much. So I'm going to take the Cardinals here. I don't see what's coming out of the Jets. I don't see why they're the favorites. It's been very odd, but I kind of like the Cards. So I think they've just been playing way more consistent. The only thing that hasn't been consistent with the Cardinals is Marvin Harris. That's about it.
We have a lot of fishy lines this week, Jalen. I don't know why the Cardinals are dogs. Home dogs on the top of fact of that. Give me the Cardinals here. The Jets. Unless the Jets are putting some games together, I'm not going to have any confidence in them whatsoever. It's disappointing with them. Very disappointing. Give me the Cards. I can't. I don't understand this line. Why is it home dogs?
No, and for me, is this the moment? The only thing that's on my mind and why people would think the Jets are favored here, are we finally getting that November, December struggle that Kyler Murray always throws out? You know, he always struggles
Yeah,
around this time of year.
yeah, yeah.
And so, is this that start? Is that the start of this collapse, or was that just a Cliff Kingsbury thing? And if so, if it was just a Cliff Kingsbury thing, caution out to the wind of Commanders over there. So be careful. One of these two teams are going to be in for some trouble. So, but give me the Cardinals here, and praying that Kyler theory doesn't goes to the bank there. All right,
Mhm.
Sunday night football. Lions at Texans, as we mentioned earlier. Texans 3.5 underdogs as the Lions continue their road trip. I mean, this is an easy one. It's the Lions. I mean, what is there really to say? Jared Goff has been playing damn near perfect, dude. It's insane. You don't think if they don't show up to this one, that'd be even crazier. So Yeah, just give me the Lions. They've just been playing way more sound, complete football. They're insane. Offense is damn near perfect. It's gonna be real. It's a tough team to beat, and the only team to beat them was Baker. So yeah, give me that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you here, Jay. I don't understand how it's only 3.5. I mean, I thought it would have been like, 5, 6. The Texans, they don't look good. There was a lot of
Protect.
crack there. The CJ's dying out there. That left guard, I don't know if that was the one that got hurt or not, but that guy is just letting anyone through. And so I see what Texans fans were talking about because I saw them complaining about that left guard before the game on last Thursday. So that was very funny to see at the forefront. But CJ, he possibly could get Nico back this week, but he desperately needs Nico. Like you can tell, like it's not the same. Tank Dell, he's doing his best, but
Oh yeah,
I
that's a
think
nice way to put it.
it's a nice way to put it. But the Lions, the Lions are playing complete sound football all across the board right now. Offense, defense. They just got Zarius Smith to join the team with
Right.
Aiden Hutchinson going down.
And
But
it's played for I
here,
think every team but in the NFC North but the Bears. It's
yeah,
insane.
the Lions are playing the most sound football out of any team in the National Football League right now. But however, Jalen, I do have to bring this question to you.
Mhm.
Are the Lions peaking too early?
I've heard that question. Ooh, I
I
was thinking about it before. Um, Honestly, that's a tough question, but I feel like the way and style that they play, man, I don't think they're peaking too early. They lost Aiden Hutchinson and are still doing just fine. If anything, they just temporarily fixed it. So I think they're not peaking early. I think what we're seeing here, if there's one team that I say is probably peaking early, and they also just did a quick fix as well, it's the Chiefs because they've been using all that defensive magic on their side for a long time with this questionable quarterback play. So maybe that will start falling apart. I pray that starts falling apart at some point. But also I just think that the Lions, man, like you said, Jared Goff is just I just think about the numbers, dude. He's had like insane, like less than 5 incompletion games. I feel like it was. It's the stat that's been coming out. So I just think that right now, until I see that man throw an interception, I can't say that they're peaking too early. That dude is literally playing just that quality of football. So
agree
once
with
you
you.
got to see the down peak you got to see once they start going down, then you can start finally say they're peaking. But right now, they've just been every week getting better. It seems like.
Yeah, I agree over here. But they're clicking all cylinders. They're clearly on a revenge tour of last year. But Jared Goff as well played outdoors for the first time last week, and it seems like forever. So he kind of deflated the outdoors conversation that they try to put around him. So Lions playing, and they're playing all four downs. Like they are not punting the football. They are literally every fourth down going for it. That is absurd. So I respect it. We'll see how it continues to go, but they're playing complete football, so I'm gonna have to take them here against the Texans. When the Texans are kind of slowly having cracks unless Nico comes back and plays out his mind.
All right. And speaking of the Texans, I'm looking at so James had the Texans at 9.5 here.
Over?
Yes, he went over on that one. Do you think that is still a
That's gonna
possibility
be
for the
tight.
Texans?
I think it's gonna be tight. I think
That's looking very tight. Yeah, that's what I'm
that's
saying.
gonna be tight. Yeah.
But the AFC South is really, really gross, as as we were just talking about earlier as
Yeah.
well. I don't think anyone's going to win a game in the AFC
I,
South.
I
If
think
they
I
all
think
come
they'll
out with
still win the division. They'll still win the division, but it's just how much.
it's gross, to might I add. But all right, into the last game here of the Week 10 slate. We got the Dolphins going to LA for the Rams. Be careful, folks. They're only getting 1 day to get this field ready from the Chargers to the Rams. So see how good the crew is, as the Rams are 1.5 point home favorites.
I
So
did not think about that.
Once again, we get another interesting turf game where I've had a very fun theory and everything about whenever the New York teams or LA teams, when they mess up the turf, the first team does good, the second team, as expectedly, struggles. And the game's a little bit more grosser, as you can tell. The Rams, man, Puka Nakua. Someone said the Puka punch should be a Pikachu move or a Pokemon move, which I 100% agree. That just sounds like something that they would do. But the Puka punch there, and hopefully, I feel like that was just a one-time thing. So it wasn't really much of a punch, if you ask me. It looked like it was just slapping him on the helmet. But Dolphins is the other side of this coin, folks. What in the world can we get out of the Dolphins? I mean, it was like, what, Jalen Waddle had 0 yards again or barely any yards last week. So this is it. Last week it was the Raiders. I gave them my last chance stance. Now I'm no longer going to have to drink that Raider Kool-Aid. It was kind of unfair for me to put them on back-to-back last stands last week for the last 2 weeks, but they're officially done. So now it's time for the Dolphins. Dolphins are now on the last stand here, in my opinion, and they have to somehow, in some way, at least show an offense. So give me the Dolphins.
We came close last week putting up a fight against the Bills, but however, the Bills own Dolphins. And then the Rams, they played a pretty good ball against the Seahawks last week. So you have two teams kind of trending different ways. And the line is very close. I think I'm going to have to take the Rams here. The Dolphins, until the Dolphins really prove it, I think, then I'll be back on taking Dolphin spreads again. But Tyreek has to get going. Like this game, Tyreek has to go off. Like the man has not done anything, and he told people, "Put me back in your starting lineup, boys," and he hasn't done nothing, nada. So this has to be like a Tyreek game here. If I'm a betting man, I'll probably put touchdown bet here. But that's a Monday night game, so that doesn't count for anything. Um, but yeah, give me Rams.
All right. And speaking of, I just did a quick check. Yeah, you had Tyreek do these last 2 weeks. That's how much we've been
Yep,
believers in the Ram and the
that's how
Dolphins
much we've
here.
been believers. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it's insane. Because I mean, what do you expect though? Also, I'm with a quarterback that just came back from another 4 weeks of concussion protocol. It's brutal. So I just think when it comes to the Dolphins, though, this is the only thing I point out some of these interesting coaching matchups here. Mike McDaniel they've come from the 49ers, so he has experience playing against McVay. It's going to be interesting. No Aaron Donald this time, so maybe he just doesn't overthink it, and maybe they actually pull this one out. But yeah, I don't blame you for going the Rams either. Very close line. It's going to be an interesting Monday night game
It should
for
be a
sure.
very interesting game. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, Christian, gave you a little bit of a sneak peek of what happened last week when you sent me over those dues. I've been trying to mix it up when I deliver them and everything. I was hoping that when I put them last after the locks, it would give us a little bit more luck. I was wrong.
That
I
sucked.
was wrong.
That
So,
sucked. The whole time we just need Tyreek. Like Tyreek, bring us home. Scary Terry brought us home early. Saquon brought us up
oh
pretty
gosh,
like
we didn't even get
respectable.
to talk about
Like
that.
like like that's so close again. And it's just like, dude, come on. So another new week. If anyone is still taking these, hopefully once I start hitting one, it gets on fire like it used to be in the good old days. We're going here with the Vikings Jags game. We're going to go with Jay Jettas, who should have got a touchdown against Rams, I truly believe, but didn't get one last week, so he should get one against this Jags secondary. Then we're gonna head to the Bills Colts game. We're gonna take James Cook here. He should be, as long as Josh Allen doesn't merch it off him. And then we have AJ Brown against the Cowboys here. So, well, Jefferson, AJ, James Cook, that gets you to +721 currently. I wouldn't take these now until Sunday because the lines get better the closer you get there.
All right. Not too shabby. I can always support a good old Justin Jefferson one. I mean, those sound like some fun lines, if you ask me. All right. even though this is unorthodox, I'm going to give Colby one last chance because he did already send his picks in, unless you just promise not to pick the same games that he does. And you can move off on which one do you prefer? Me and you both
So
have
what's the
better
order?
records than him, and he only sent me 3 games.
Oh crap! All right, I guess we'll have to go with Colby. Freaking Colby, if you're listening to this, dude, you suck. You suck.
That's what I'm saying.
Don't do that to us.
So I might as well update the people of the standings. It's been a couple weeks since I have
Unless
had
it's
something to talk.
unless it's one that we really want, then we'll take it. But
Looking
what
right
is it?
now, there's only one game that he has the same that you picked, at least. He only picked one that is the same with you. So
Really? So me and him pick complete opposite on every game?
every game, but the 3 locks that he has that he
Oh,
sent over, I wrote them down, and there's only one game that he's matched with you. So
okay.
only one possible matchup, and it's the Cardinals. So I can go ahead and say that
Cardinals.
one out loud.
Okay.
Would you take the Cardinals or not?
Nah, I mean I like him, but I won't put that so off.
Oh, there you go. And then he also had, since these games won't matter to our picks, he had the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Patriots.
Oh
That's
my
right. Yeah, I
God.
was about to say he's been picking some
Oh,
interesting ones. There's a reason why I
he's
want to say
going
0 and
against the
6.
Bears.
I
That
hate to
makes
say
me feel
this.
more confident about the Bears now. Him going back to his roots.
Oh, hang on. There we go. He is 1 and 5 over these past 2 weeks.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Jesus.
you got in the got right. You got back in the saddle. You got 2 and 1 last week, but you got back in the right in the good spot. But I'm on a tear. When I was talking to myself, Christian, I went 6-0. I am not gonna lie. You ready for
Wow.
this? You ready for this?
Yeah.
Week 8. I had the Lions when they
Yeah.
beat the Titans. That was obvious.
Yeah.
The Pittsburgh Steelers when they beat the that was an upset game. I can't find them yet though. But I had the Steelers. Oh, against the
Was it the
Giants.
Jets? Or
So they covered that one. That was the I think that was the Russell Wilson game.
yeah.
And then I had the Eagles and everything, which was very risky, but they ended up doing their job and they beat the Bengals sound. Week 9, I went with the Vikings, which took care of the Colts. I had the Bucks against the Chiefs to cover. The Bucks did cover there because the line was 8.5. And the Commanders, I had them beating the Giants by more than 3.5. So we are on a tear, folks. And luckily, these lines, like I said, Colby does not affect me. In my first pick of the week here, I would love to go ahead and keep the streak going. I'm feeling, I thought I had more confidence in this pick here. I'm going to go with the Vikings. I'm going to go ahead and keep my little Viking. I'm going to keep the Vikings hot streak going. So taking the Vikings. What is it? -7? Yes, Vikings -7.
Jalen, I have breaking news here.
Uh-oh.
From the San Francisco area, Kyle Shanahan expects star running back Christian McCaffrey to make his season debut on Sunday.
Oh,
That's not good. That's not good for that's the one factor that could
that
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 could
that would switch it over. Yes, I was going to say that heavily implements the game.
and
Who are they playing again? The Bucks?
the
Oh,
Bucks.
yeah, sorry, Baker.
I
I
hate
can
to
see
see it,
you. If you want
Baker.
to switch your pick now, I completely understand.
I'll switch it. I'll switch it
Yeah, I
because
was gonna say, I can
that's
understand. That's a little bit much. That's a little much. And I'm probably not even gonna have the Bucks on my pick anyway, so I completely understand that. Yikes. What I
yeah.
mean, it was such a weird injury though.
Yeah,
So
very weird. So who
he's gonna
knows? Maybe
be.
he
You
comes
might
out
as
and
well throw
stinks
him
it.
onto the dues list as well.
I checked. It's -265 for this
Oh
guy to
God,
score. The guy
minus
has not
two
played
hundred.
all season, and he's -265.
Man's getting no rest. They're throwing this man back into the fucking grinder. It's
Oh,
insane.
I lied. And now it's jumped to 270. People are putting money on it.
That's too much. Chill. We need to chill, America. Chill. Everyone thinking they're making the money move of the decade right now, putting money on Christian McCaffrey. Watch this man not even sniff the ball. He's just going to be a bait.
All right.
All right. So I'm
So
guessing
let's
the
talk some hockey.
49ers are your first lock. Okay.
No, 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 no. My first lock will be Buffalo Bills minus 3.5.
Mm, mm. Bills. Nice pick. Oh, you get another one.
I will go with the Eagles minus 7.
Damn. Okay. Really off that Cowboys bandwagon. That was the
Oh yeah.
fastest that we've seen someone. That's the other thing. We haven't even found that this year's bandwagon, unless we're considering it to be the Commanders, or yeah, maybe the Commanders might be the team we bandwagon for. Um, I did not, however, pick the Commanders, sadly, and Colby did pick the Steelers. Give me, gosh, this is going to be so. I'm going to be so mad if this doesn't go through. Give me the Chargers. I'm going to stick to my field theory here. Whoever plays first gets the win. Oh, snap! And
Which
I
one
get
was
the
it?
next pick.
Yeah.
Um, ooh, how do we not have the Lions off the board? Actually, hold up. I'm taking the Lions.
I was really hoping that slipped right back to me. God
Yeah,
dang it.
there we go. I didn't know how we missed that one. Give me the Lions.
All right, so what do we have right now in total?
Hmm. Off the board, the Patriots,
Yep.
The Pittsburgh Steelers,
Yep.
Arizona Cardinals,
Yep.
Vikings,
Yep.
Chargers, Lions, Bills, and Eagles.
God, did we all take favorites except Colby taking the Steelers and the Patriots? God dang it, Jalen. I was really hoping you were gonna miss the Lions there. Uh,
Rams, I mean, or the Commanders can challenge that Pittsburgh game. With Derek Carr, are we a believer in Derek Carr or Bryce
crap,
Young?
dude. Oh crap.
Or since this we have for the first time in a long time done a locks before the Thursday night game. You believe in your Ravens to cover that line? You believe in it?
You know what? With the breaking news brought upon us, we're gonna take the 49ers minus 6.5 right now. This is breaking news.
I was trying to dance you away from that. That's why I said every game but that one. So I was saying that was the one game I was like, maybe you can just forget about that instant breaking
Uh,
news for one
it's
second.
crazy how one
Did the
man
line jump
changed
up for that
everything.
game? Did the line go
No,
up?
did we
Or is it
take it at
still at
6.5?
6?
We're still at 6.5.
Still at 6.5? Okay, I was about to say I wouldn't be surprised if that line just skyrocketed to like 8.5 just because of him coming back. But that's good news. Good news for the 49ers there. And it is also that time where good stuff just starts to wrap up with our final thoughts. All right. So, folks, I think some of you guys might be thinking, gee, this guy's just gonna blow right through his and forget about his power rankings. No, sirree. I actually got them right here. And in this case, though, I do have them after the fact. This is Saturday and everything, right before I upload the podcast. And I actually did genuinely almost forgot, but I was like, hold on a second, because I did write this down, and it's time to get this out. So, without further ado, the much awaited, after another 3 weeks of the NFL, we got another round of power rankings, baby. All right, so we're going to go ahead and zoom right through this. I feel like it's actually easier if we start from the top and work our way down. So we're going to do things a little unorthodox here. So, number one, I feel like it's still the Chiefs. No one's beaten them. They're still undefeated. The way their defense is playing, there's nothing that would change my mind, especially when you have the fact that you add D-Hop. They got Patrick Mahomes. It's still a top team. It's hard to beat. They're going to be annoying to beat. It's almost the same words you would say when you talked about the old Patriots teams. At number two, this is a team that, honestly, if it wasn't for the fact that the Chiefs were undefeated, they probably would be number one. It's going to be the Detroit Lions, as they are playing perfect on both sides of the ball, as I mentioned earlier in the podcast on Thursday. Lions are just playing insanely good. Jared Goff is having an incredible run. Nothing in my mind would sway me away from them being the NFC favorite at this time being. At number three, you can argue this is where things could get a little more interesting, but for me, 1 through 4 was really easy. As number three, I have the Baltimore Ravens. I'm going to put the Ravens down. I do have the benefit of them beating the Bengals in a primetime game. My number one concern, is the defense. However, when you talk about the Ravens defense, they still hold their own when it comes to certain moments in the game. I think it's just the fact that they went against the Joe Burrow, who is just charged up. He's trying to win as many games. He's in win now mode. So the Ravens had to control and deal with that. I mean, it's not a great sign seeing that Jamar Chase can put up 400 or 200 yards or something like that. Insane numbers for Jamar Chase, but this is the Ravens here I'm talking about. Kyle Hamilton, we heard that should be okay, should be back in action. So give me the Ravens in that run game. Last night, like we barely mentioned for some reason, the run game for the Ravens is just insane as well. So give me the Ravens and their sound offense. At number 4, I'm going to put the Bills here. I trust the Bills a little bit more than the team that I have at number 5. The Bills, when it comes to them, it's the fact that it's Josh Allen and the play that he's been having this season. If it wasn't for Lamar or Jared Goff, I would argue that Josh Allen would also be in the MVP running this season. Going with that, the Bills defense, I mean, everything that I have thought that the Bills would do, like take a step back because they're missing pieces, none of that has really come into fruition. The only thing they struggle with is probably the big games. It's going to be a very interesting matchup here in the next couple of weeks when we see them go and play Kansas City at home, actually. They host the Kansas City Chiefs. That's going to be a game that we get to see, I think, in the next couple of weeks. At number 5, this is where I thought things would start getting a little bit more dicey, a little bit more interesting. Probably going to get a little more pushback for this one. But I'm still going to put my Minnesota Vikings at number 5. Push it as it may, they finally stopped their skidding. I had them as a top 3, top 2 team. Last time I had these power rankings, so for me to drop them down to the 5 spot, I feel like it's fair, especially considering the games they had to play against. The fact is, the Lions was a tough outing. And the fact is, when the Vikings had to go out and play, let me double check my stats here. When the Vikings had to go and play, I know this is a great sign when you have to find and dig up your picks. But the Vikings over here, they finally lost. It was the Rams, which is again an outlier because the Rams had to gotten Puka and Cooper Kupp literally the day of. So no chance to game plan. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt on that game. And they snapped the skidding. They stopped it. They beat the Colts. They should be going on the right track. These are all must-win games if they want to be considered a playoff team. They should be able to run through these AFC South division fairly and considerably easily. All right, and then moving on to the bottom 5, I have this team which is I feel like people can argue should be in the 5 spot. But I'll have a little pushback just because of the way that they're still trying to gel together, and it's going to be the Falcons. They still have a couple questionable losses. That's the only main reason that I have them. Looks like the offense is starting to get together. It looks like they're starting to get things going, as you would expect with Kirk Cousins and the 1 o'clock slot and of things. Number 7, I got the Steelers. Which again, I know some people are going to be sitting there wondering where are certain teams. I have the Steelers here because once again, it's just knowing what is going to be placed in front of you, what kind of style of football, and we know they're going to be consistently strong year in and year out with the defensive side of things. And if if Russell Wilson can actually pull this thing together and actually utilize the receivers. I mean, we're seeing that George Pickens is actually happy. It's a surprise to even me. So, gonna be a big matchup. And the reason why I have them at 7 is because, as you heard on the recording earlier, that I do have the Pittsburgh Steelers beating the number 8 team here, the Commanders. I love what the Commanders are doing. It's a fun team, but you're about to go and run into a brand of football here that's going to test you even harder. I feel like the Bears, they got lucky and everything. Of course, they got lucky in my honest opinion. The Bears probably should have had that one, of course, just for a couple bad mistakes at the end there. So, as we all know, of course. So yeah, give me the Steelers over the Commanders. Commanders at number 8. They're still a great team. However, I just feel like there's missing something. Maybe it's time. They are not in a win now mode, if you ask me. At number 9, I am going to go ahead. This is where it got really interesting for me, these last two spots, which is why I wanted to do it in this order this time. Because at number 9, I put the Texans down. Um, I was debating not even putting an AFC South team just because all around they are all struggling. They're not playing the same as they would. But I'm just thinking of the fact that when the Texans get healthy and they actually have a couple, they're well, mostly Nico Collins. If they can get him back, they'll probably find a way to get their offense rehumming. Joe Mixon has filled in the gap pretty well. And lastly, I have the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles coming in at number 10. Mostly because I feel like everyone's been giving Sirianni a tough time and everything like that. I feel like he's been actually working really well with what he's got. Yes, a couple of coaching decisions that have been very questionable. However, I trust in what the Eagles are trying to put forward going through the rest of this season. I feel like they're going to be a playoff team, and if I'm wrong on that, right hand up, I'll be right there cheering with the Eagles, asking for Nick Sirianni's job. So that is my power rankings, folks. A little quick 8-minute splur there. But yeah, hopefully that power ranking was some good stuff as we go into our final thoughts. Christian, it's been a couple of weeks, so what's been on your mind lately, man?
Oh, man, we had a very important day in America on Tuesday, trade deadline day.
Ah, yes, yes.
God, man, I really wanted a pass rusher. I really was fantasizing sitting there, like, you know what, maybe Max Crosby for a second, a fifth comes to fruition. I don't know. Oh my God, we're getting to the dog weeks of the schedule now, everyone, where you got to show up,
Mm-hmm.
tie them up. But I did make a purchase the other week that I've always wanted this guy's jersey as a kid, as a teenager, just never had the money to do so. And I need a white jersey to complete my jersey collection. So I was able to. I was just browsing on the shop. Sometimes I just look to see what
Please
what,
tell me it
what
was a
I can.
Todd Heap jersey.
Yeah. No, I
Ah,
got it.
well, just had to
Number
shoot from the corner there.
no, no. Number 20, Ed Reed
Oh, what a
jersey.
choice.
I've I've always wanted one, and I've never seen one in the shop because by the time we were, made money, we were out, like Ed Reed was gone. And so I just never saw it on the shop. And I was just casually browsing on NFL shop, and Ed Reed was there, and I was like, you know what? Not why not? Let me just freaking buy it, ship it on over. So got an Ed Reed
Wow,
white jersey now, to add to the
beautiful.
collection. I probably won't wear it because I don't want to get that white dirty. So it's just kind of sit in the collection, right there. So just top of mind, and hopefully I can buy a Purple Rising helmet here, to add to the collection of my helmets here, as I have one Baltimore Raven helmet already.
Oh,
So,
snap.
so
That
the
is a helmet helmet.
yeah,
I thought
yeah.
it was
So
on
now
like
the
one of those little Riddell helmets that you can get like
yeah.
the little
No,
little half
I
size
want a
ones.
big one. I want a big one.
That is okay. That is different. That's a different style of gameplay there. And for that jersey, if you're going to keep it already
Yeah.
nice and white and tight, go ahead and try and get a nice frame for that bad boy, you know? Hang that sucker up. I mean, I respect some Ed Reed. I think other people can too. So
So just think about that collection memorabilia here as we head into the Black Friday hours of the season.
that's true. That's true. Oh yeah. And then there's a Black Friday game this time too as well. So things are off and going there for football, just stirring that pot back up again. But anyways, my final thought here. Man, I've been struggling with my final thoughts now that whenever I have company, I realize. Because whenever I was by myself, I could pop a final thought like it was nothing. So this time I'm going to try and do what Colby would do. I'm going to take it to the NDA. My final thought here is going to be, is Russell Westbrook can revive his career with the Nuggets? Did you see that game? I don't know if you saw any highlights, man. This man, Russ, I might have to start drinking the Kool-Aid again, becoming a fan.
Dude, like,
I want him.
he's nostalgia. He's nostalgia. I will
He
never
is.
get rid of that. Was it 2016 season? I think it was 2016, if I got the year correct. But God, dude, it's so good to see that guy ball. When he balls, it's just
is. It really is. It's a feel good moment and everything.
It's
Like
a
he's a
feel
classic.
good.
He just attacks the rim, man, and his shots are actually going in. I mean, can Jokic really revive this man's career? I mean, the part is like they literally had such a great game together and everything like that, of course, but also, Jokic ended up putting up like a 20-20-15 triple-double last night with Russell Westbrook popping off. If that's going to be the production that we get to
Like,
see, that's going to be awesome. Like, I would love
see,
to see that for the Nuggets. So, and for my
he's an
Wolves,
all he's an all time dude. I like he will
he
always have
is
a special place. Like that guy, the triple double season was one of the greatest seasons ever played. I truly think. Like that
on the
was
Wizards or
absurd
on
on the
the
on the Thunder when
on the
he won the
Thunder.
MVP.
Oh yes, that season as well. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, he just has a lot of memorable moments, man. It's just he's one of those feel good players. It's hard to not root for him. And now I just wish ever more that Colby's here because he's on his team and he has to talk good about Russell Westbrook. Or if not, he's just more of a challenge. But for me, man, it's always easy to shed some good light for the guy. And so it's awesome to see it happening. And all in all, some pretty good stuff, right, Christian?
Oh yeah.